Hey guys, welcome to Mr. H Makes. I'm Mr. H, and this week we are going to make a departure from the usual video format. I'm going to be doing a time lapse of a work in progress because I don't have time to do anything else. So basically my subject is Arnie, and this is just a quick zip through on how I make the face texture that's going to eventually be put in to Character Creator, the headshot plugin. So trying to keep it as balanced as possible, because if you have too many highlights and things like that, it kind of messes up headshot. So this texture just filling in the set parameters. And there we have it. Doesn't look particularly impressive at the moment, but once you use the sculpt morph tools, you can push and pull the face around to the final version. So I'm just comparing the side profile and trying to get it as close to the subject's dimensions or structure. While you're using the headshot plugin, you can also go into the morph sliders and modify and zip back and forth. So that's quite cool. You can also reproject the texture as much as you see fit, and apparently that's quite a good thing to do. In this project I actually could only get a 2K image, although headshot recommends 4K, but I upscaled it using one of those free websites online till 3K, and it was only really intended as a test, but I also kind of like the way the image finally turned out. I'm not going for complete realism, obviously, so I stuck with that. And so after messing around with the face a bit, I actually messed around with it more, but I took this opportunity to just kind of get the body blocked in. Now he looks more like Arnold, just with the pecs and all the muscles. From the front, not so much yet. I have to fix those lips. So yeah, you can see all the different sliders for the nose. So I'm just sticking a body template on, giving him some dirt and definition, sunburn. So yeah, the face you see now is the final one. After all the tweaking I did and fixing up the texture. Actually, I think I did one more iteration of the texture to get rid of his eyebrows later. And then I thought I'd go for a commando look, one of his old movies, which I think has the distinction of having the highest kill ratio of all 80s action movies. I'm just sticking a bit of dirt on the face. Giving him some clothes. Yeah, the issue sometimes with clothes is that it pokes through, so you have to conform it or manually sculpt it to make sure that it doesn't push through where it shouldn't. So I'm just checking some poses here to make sure there's no tearing in the cloth. Yeah, that's a good pose. There was a bit of experimentation on whether I pull the trousers out to cover the shirt, or later what I eventually went for was to push the shirt in, I think. Yeah, I was just messing about here, and it gave me a very unflattering lower abdomen, so I undid it all and went to change the shirt mesh and push it in. Yeah, my 80s star cannot have a pot belly. So obviously you can mirror the X and Y. Now I'm just checking the poses. So yeah, then I just messed around with the color of the shirt, and when I did that I noticed a bunch of tearing, so I just used the sculpt tool on the shirt and pulled out those bits. Then I spent a bit of time correcting that because I wanted the model in the shirt to have lots of different poses without having this issue with tearing. I thought about editing the hair mesh, but then kind of realized that, you know what, it's pretty Arnold anyway, so might as well keep it as it is. But yeah, you do have that ability to mess around with the hair mesh. And in fact, I think if you shrink it, you can simulate bald spots and things like that, but not required here. If there's any aspect of this time-lapse video that you want me to go into more detail, then please let me know in the comments section below. Now I took the opportunity to check the mouth positions, mainly to make sure that the teeth weren't overlapping. All these poses eventually are available in iClone, or these expressions rather. And I was looking at sorting out the eyebrow, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because that obviously appears under. So use a combination of the clone brush and the healing tool. So you can see on the right side, his left, it's without the eyebrow, and yeah, I kind of go with that. So yeah, clone from another portion, and if you specify lightness, you get a good result. It is important to spend time on the texture, getting the face right. I think most of the problems are derived from having odd highlights in the original image, so you really got to desaturate that and make sure you've got a balanced image to get the most out of it. And yeah, fixing the t-shirt in different poses. One day I'm gonna have to look into cloth dynamics and things like that. But at the moment, you know, baby steps first. Yeah, I was Mr. Olympia. Yeah, and I have to work on my Arnie impression. And yeah, I read that he has light brown eyes, but in some pictures I see they're blue, but maybe that's an age thing or a Hollywood thing, I don't know. Anyway, I'll make them in between the two. Now you're supposed to be able to select the settings for one eye and just paste into the other, but I couldn't seem to manage, so I just duplicated them. And that's pretty much what the star of my next video will look like. Looking forward to animating this guy. Until then, you've been watching Mr. H Makes. I'm Mr. H, and I will see you next time.